The Politics podcast is brought to you, as always, by everybody at patreon.com/JURY. Yep, that's where you go. Hey, this is a world that moves very fast. World of politics, you know. Sometimes I'm not able to get to everything in a once-a-week show. So if you want to get a version of this show 3 times a week, then what you need to do is go on over to patreon.com/JURY. If you're subbing at the $3 a week level, you get 3 podcasts a week. That's $1 a podcast. That means that you are not going to be at all, you're not going to miss anything, including this week. Folks, if you are a $3 subscriber, then you are going to get an amazing interview that I did with presidential vote receiver Gloria Young, my mom, about the Stormy Daniels interview. I did an interview with my mom after watching the Stormy Daniels interview with her. It was really fun. I asked her point blank if she could be assured that Donald Trump would resign tomorrow, would she take a good hard look at the president's penis? And she gave me a definitive answer because she's the kind of candidate that does such a thing. Go ahead and listen to what she said. Become a $3 patron subscriber on patreon.com/JURY. Also, remember, you can get a free newsletter all up in your inbox every single weekday if you sign up at tinyletter.com/Justin Robert Young. But enough of talking about how we support the show. What do you say we just do the damn thing?
Politics, 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 politics. Politics, yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, yes. Delightful. Welcome to the Politics podcast. My name is Justin Robert Young. This is, it's a weird week. It's a weird week. We had the Stormy Daniels interview on Sunday. Again, you can hear my mom talk about it right there on Patreon. Maybe I should give you guys a little sneak. Yeah, maybe I should give you guys. I know I don't want to. I don't want to infringe on the value for everybody who has already, gotten in there and made their pledge known. But we can just real quick, just a real quick get you guys maybe a little taste of what my mom had to say about Stormy Daniels.
Years and years ago, they did not.
Right.
Now, when there was much more interest in it, they did.
Obviously. Now that he's president.
But that story's been out there. And it's like, it's a fairly, benign. It's shocking
Here we
that
go.
there is a lessening of the.
Who said they were raped by Donald Trump and his...
Wow, she got spicy. That was a weird thing to drop in on. My mom saying they were raped by Donald Trump. It's actually a really funny interview beyond all the rape talk. My mom worked in the legal profession for a little bit and has read some of the depositions against Donald Trump. It is my mom's best. You guys should go listen to it. Go ahead and check it out. Patreon.com/JURY. Aside from that, I don't really know what to say about the Stormy Daniels thing. Aside for, we got a good email about why you should pay attention to it. I don't know exactly how much you should be paying attention to it beyond, what they've released. It definitely seems like the lawyer is trying to make this as painful as possible for Donald Trump. There was some teasing over the weekend about a CD that may or may not have media on it. If I were to take a wild guess, I would say that the media would be far more of Michael Cohen and less of Donald Trump. As Stormy Daniels said during her interview, she has only had sex with Donald Trump once. They did not have an ongoing affair. That would seem to make any ideas that maybe she would have taken a picture of the PP a little less possible. Maybe he sent her pictures of his dick. Although I don't know if he seems like that kind of guy. And not to say that he would not like to flash his hog to anybody who might be willing to see it, but rather, I don't know if he knows how to text or at least take a picture message. But I don't know. I mean, the Stormy Daniels thing, like, if all we're talking about is an FEC violation, which by and large is a monetary fine, then I don't know exactly how much we care. I think for people who want Donald Trump the fuck out of office, the bigger thing that you need to look at is the Mueller investigation. And when it comes to that, if that becomes intertwined with Stormy Daniels, that's a different story. Because then you're talking about getting Donald Trump under oath and having him being asked questions about this relationship for which he is denying, and him having to, under oath, answer. But beyond that, who knows? I don't know. I mean, the interview is pretty much the same thing that we got from In Touch, with the only addition being that apparently after she gave the interview to In Touch and they tried to verify things with Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels got a very threatening visit from some unnamed thug who said, hey, stop talking about Trump. That's a real pretty baby daughter you got there. Be a real shame if something happened to a mom. Just fucked up. It's mob intimidation, quite literally. But getting that back to Trump would be very difficult. IMO. Unless people inside the Trump administration are defecting and telling, unless they're dropping dime on Donald Trump, which would seem odd. We haven't seen that very much yet. He tends to keep a fairly tight circle. So that's my Stormy Daniels hot take. It's not really that good, but I talked all about my initial reactions in the interview I did with my mom. Here's the other big news. The big news this week, IMO, is international. And that is Kim Jong-un going to China. His first trip as leader of North Korea outside of his country was to Beijing, and in large part because they were getting on the same page in terms of North Korea's dealings with the United States, or at least that's what Beijing communicated to the White House. Now, I'm going to give you something that I will suspect many political pundits will not give. That is what you come here for. All right? I'm going to let you know something that I don't think any other podcast or pundit on television, on radio, in newspaper, in podcast will dare give you. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to this. Ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Booyaka, booyaka. This is something that I have literally no idea. No clue. Do I think this is good news? I mean, maybe. Maybe it's a good news. Kim Jong-un has said that he is interested in moving forward with denuclearization. This is something that has been actively worked on through international trade agreement or international peacekeeping agreements for years. And I mean, the nuclear thing probably started under Clinton, right? So 2 terms of Clinton, 2 terms of Bush, 2 terms of Obama, and now we're on Trump. There has been a lot of negotiation, and they have consistently moved forward with their nuclear program. So if they're talking about it, that sounds good to me. You know, it is. But I have no idea. Nor, by the way, do I think anybody else. Because the more I read about people that are in the know on this, that are actively watching Chinese media, are actively watching how the North Koreans are portraying this, they're trying to read the tea leaves too. These are two very, very, very secretive regimes. So the idea that anybody has any clue what's going on, I think, is laughable. The question will now be, it looks like Beijing is angling to be the place in which Donald Trump will meet Kim Jong-un. And if that's the case, then that's very interesting. Because we have not had a president sit down directly with Kim Jong-un in a or with the head of North Korea in a very, 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 very long time. This has been looked at as a foolhardy action by many people in the international community. That it would be fruitless at best and weakening to our position at worst. In fact, as you've seen, politically, there has been a tremendous switching of the polarity in terms of how dumb or wise it would be to meet without preconditions a leader of North Korea. Obama said that he'd be interested in meeting without preconditions with Iran and North Korea. He was roundly mocked for it. Donald Trump said, yeah, sure, I'll meet Kim Jong-un without preconditions. And some people were very excited about it. Many of the people that criticized Obama. This is the kind of fluidity to political arguments that we're going to return to in a little bit. But for right now, I don't know. From my perspective, it doesn't seem like a lot has worked with North Korea. We've tried to impose economic sanctions, but at the end of the day, the only people that can really pull their chain is China. We seem to be entering into it's complicated phase of our relationship with China. Obviously, we are economically dependent on them as they are economically dependent on us. We have begun the process of instituting tariffs that would start a trade war. This has been hilariously unpopular with many people in the American sector of the economy. However, as Donald Trump has said, this is the art of the deal. That you have to talk tough. You have to show your wang a little bit to get the right deals. And who knows whether or not that will happen. But if we can give China a reason to pull North Korea's chain, maybe that'll do something. And I only caveat that argument with me reminding all of you that I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. JSC315 in the chat says, China will take any chance to screw us as they have in the past. And Sonic Fear adds that President Xi is manipulating the whole situation to put China on top of the world's leadership. You know, Steve Bannon was at a Financial Times thing, and he said that the Kim Jong-un Trump meeting probably would never happen because where would you do it? You know, Kim Jong-un isn't exactly going to fly on into Washington, you know, and Trump, far as we know, isn't going to mosey his ass on into Pyongyang. So you kind of have a little bit of a weird situation where else would it happen but China? China's pretty much the only place that an American president would go and regularly goes that the leader of North Korea would go. So no doubt President Xi is making that there. I mean, look, you could go to the DMZ, but the president of the United States isn't going to the fucking DMZ. Soul, maybe. Maybe Soul. But other than that, that would be a tremendous step forward in Korean Peninsula relations. Hell, it took a fucking act of God to get anybody from North Korea down for the fucking Olympics. And Kim Jong-un didn't move his fat ass for that. Tell you what they could do. Tell him, all right, Kim Jong-un, we're going to do this face to face. But we can only do it in one place. NBA Finals, Game 1, center court. And by the way, we're going to figure this shit out in a game of horse. That's it. That'll get his fat ass on down here. That motherfucker loves the NBA. Be like, listen, Donald Trump, work on your fucking jump shot. Work on your jump shot. And try to work out some trick shots, too. Like one of those, I'm going to bounce it once on the ground, once on the backboard, and in. Get some of that Michael Jordan, Larry Bird shit going. I don't know. Does Kim Jong-un have a good jump shot? Do we know? Who do you think has a better jump shot? I'm going to fucking put this up on my Twitter. Who do you think has a better jump shot? Here we go. All right, everybody, go ahead and follow me at Justin R. Young. Who do you think has a better jump shot? Oh, shit, I can't do this on TweetDeck. Anyway, I'll do it. I'll put it up there. Is it Kim Jong-un or Donald Trump? We'll have to figure it out. We can't have Obama. I know he's a better jump shooter than Trump, most likely. But, he's gone. Let it go. Like the Frozen movie said. Hey, speaking of Disney, we have a new addition to the Donald Trump press shop. It is currently in turmoil, has been in turmoil since Donald Trump came into office. A lot of shuffling. Hope Hicks gone, right? That's the latest. Previously, we saw the Mooch in, out. We saw Sean Spicer in, out. Under constant turmoil is this press shop. But don't worry. We have a new star. And she is one that the youth of America can certainly appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the newest member of the White House press team, Caroline Sunshine. That is her real name, by the way. 22 years old. Was known for her role as Tinka Hessenheffer in Shake It Up, a Disney Channel show about teen dancers that ran from 2010 to 2013. So ending 5 years ago. She was also in the film Marmaduke. Now, look, this is going to get, obviously, I'm talking about this because she was in the Disney Channel. And in case you are not familiar with her work on Shake It Up, I have provided this clip, which, unlike the clip of my mom, I assure you does not include the word rape.
Tinka Hessenheffer, you've called down the fashion thunder, and now you've got it. How do you want to play this? Walk 12 paces, turn and pose? Works for me.
I have never seen Shake It Up. I have been woefully undereducated about the work of Miss Sunshine. However, when I was doing research as a diligent journalist, a proud son of the S.I. Newhouse School of Public Communications, trolling around for Disney clips from the early 10s, I was struck by something, friends. And yes, that was what you heard in that clip. The voice of Tinka Hessenheffer. Now, friends, I am not here to tell you that there is no room in the brilliant patchwork of the American experience for somebody with a heavily accented English. However, it did lead me to do some research on shakeitup.wikia.com, where I looked up the page of the character Tinka Hessenheffer. Tinka Hessenheffer is a main character in the TV series Shake It Up. Tinka dances on the local popular teen dance show Shake It Up Chicago. She is the daughter of Kashlak Hessenheffer and Squitza Hessenheffer and is the fraternal twin sister of Gunther Hessenheffer. Yes, but indeed, where are they from? Well, you can find out if you only scroll down to the history of Tinka Hessenheffer. This is where the plot thickens, friends. Tinka was born in a small mountain country in Eastern Europe with her fraternal twin brother Gunther. Tinka came to America when her family with her family when she was a child. In Added Up, she reveals that they flew to Chicago on a business class flight. She and her twin brother were enrolled as exchange students since the first grade in elementary school. Unanswered questions. Do we know if Tinka, her brother Gunther, or her father and mother, Squitza or Kashlak, were or are Russian nationals or have any connection to the intelligence services? Because this could represent yet another connection between Putin's intelligence operations, although at that point it might have been under the Medvedev regime, and the Trump administration. Question the second. Where are your papers, Tinka Hessenheffer? Do we know for a fact that she legally immigrated to the United States? Or is she yet another example of the undocumented immigrants that are coming into our country and depressing the wages of hard-working Americans? Miss D in the chat says, it says Eastern Europe, Justin. That'd be Latvia to the Ukraine, not just Russia. I know. Well, it's a mysterious mountain village. Oh, how convenient. It would just be a mountainous Eastern European village. No exact specifications are ever spelled out in Shake It Out according to this Wikia that I've only read for the past 20 minutes. We have unanswered Tinka questions. These should be the first questions that Caroline Sunshine is asked when she has officially installed herself as part of that press team. And now I can report exclusively by way of T2T2 in our chat that Latvia doesn't have mountains. The plot thickens. Now, yes, I know what you're saying. Justin, Tinka Hessenheffer is a fictional character created for a children's show designed to market to tweens. A likely story. Meanwhile, Caroline Sunshine has been an intern for the White House before. Now, she is, whatever. I mean, she kind of seems like a Hope Hicks replacement, right? I mean, not obviously somebody who has had as much of a relationship with Trump, but I would suspect that she would probably be groomed for camera-ready opportunities. That's a great name, though. Caroline Sunshine? I had to double check if that was real. But also, here's another thing. I mean, look, it's kind of silly, but it's kind of not. Caroline does have a 500,000 Twitter followers and 250,000 on Instagram. You want to see? Here we go. She is at C Sunshine. Her last tweet was September of last year. Happy birthday to my fellow Virgo Zendaya, a truly brilliant and beautiful soul. She then also retweeted on August 15th, 2017, witness to 30 immigrants taking the oath of citizenship in the first such ceremony at the World Trade Center since 9/11. I love America. She also then retweeted a meme on July 31st, 2017, about Game of Thrones. There's a lot of immigrant posts here. A lot of immigrant posts here. Very interesting, Caroline. Or should I say, Tinka? All right. Enough of that silliness. Let's talk about something far more silly. Whether or not Paul Ryan will leave. All right, chat room, what do you think? Should Paul Ryan resign? Let me ask you that. Should Paul Ryan resign? Yes or no? Should he leave? Should he go? Should he get the fuck out? He'd be leaving as Speaker of the House. And he is one of those people that, you know, doesn't ever seem to be able to please anybody. In fact, rumors have been swirling about him leaving Washington entirely for months now. He doesn't quite seem like he's very, very, very much enjoying his role. And if you remember correctly, he never really wanted the Speaker of the House role to begin with. He was somebody that everybody could agree on as the Tea Party forced out John Boehner. John Boehner took his pack of cigs and red wine and fucked right off back to Ohio. And Paul Ryan has been in the unenviable position of, number one, being a visible Republican figure during the 2016 election, and now having to deal with Trump's Congress. When, I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, many of his own party don't like Trump, and everybody on the opposite side not only doesn't like Trump, but also hates them. How much? All right, so here's how this story evolved. This was a couple days ago. It was in The Advocate. It was came from comments by a Nevada congressman that here we go. This was by U.S. Representative Mark Amodei, a Republican from Nevada, said that said in an interview to Nevada newsmakers. And by the way, big shout out to Nevada newsmakers breaking that news. They're like, yeah, it's in the name, dick. We're Nevada newsmakers. Here was the quote. The rumor mill is that Paul Ryan is getting ready to resign in the next 30 to 60 days and that Steve Scalise will be the new speaker. The latest suggestion of a leadership change on Capitol Hill prompted a denial from Ryan's office and a statement from a Scalise spokeswoman who said that the Jefferson Parish Republican and House Majority Whip is proud to serve alongside Ryan and fully supports him to remain speaker. The Ryan spokeswoman, Ashley Strong, told the Associated Press the speaker is not resigning. That is a great fucking name. Ashley Strong. Who do you think? I mean, I guess in a fight, Caroline Sunshine would lose to Ashley Strong. But that's a good name. Ashley Strong. Because you guys can't see this if you're only listening. It's spelled A-S-H and then capital L-E-E. Almost like it's like a hyphen. Ashley Strong. Probably wouldn't even be a bad, like a trans name. If somebody was changing their name, they'd be like Ashley. Like it's like a two thing. I don't know if anybody would want to do that. That's like a portmanteau that nobody would want to see. Again, Paul Ryan denies this, but there's no doubt that he wants the fuck out of here, right? Like you look in Paul Ryan's eyes. Do me a favor. Look in Paul Ryan's eyes right now and tell me that he doesn't want to be literally anywhere else than where he is right now. Right? Come on. Just go ahead and give those peepers a good hard look, and you will see the sad, tired face of somebody who is really fucking sick of this. All he wants to do is lift weights and write on his blog. Right? Just look at his eyes. Just look at him right in his eyes. You know for a fact that he just wants to leave. Oh, it's all over him. He's just like, why? Why am I still here? Literally every day is an unending nightmare. It is a hellscape for me, a burning tire fire of misery. When will be my time to catch a trip to heaven? When's gonna be my time, Lord? When do I get to leave? Be escape from this fucking haunted mansion of a life I live? Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading into it. Maybe he likes his job. Maybe he really wants to do, stuff. I mean, he ran for vice president. I guess he's got to like it at least a little bit, but maybe I'm just reading into it. Do you think Paul Ryan hates his life? I don't know. He just wants to talk about government. Man, Paul Ryan's going to leave. He's just going to open a CrossFit gym. And he's just going to linger at coffee shops and talk to people about earmarks. He's going to talk to people about federal entitlements. Imagine you were just in Racine, Wisconsin, and next thing you know, there's just a very buff Paul Ryan trying to talk to you about corn subsidies. You're like, okay, cool, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. I know, we come in here at the same time. Oh, does he not do CrossFit? Does he do P90X? I don't know. I got a serious question I want to ask you guys. I want you guys to give me a serious answer. Because there's been something that's just been on my mind lately. And I really don't know how to handle it. Do you trust a word out of a politician's mouth? Question. Answer below. Do you trust a word? And let me pre-qualify that with, do you inherently trust anything from a politician? Because my perspective has been, for a little while now, probably since I was in high school, that it is very, 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 very hard for a politician to keep their word. And let me be clear that I'm not necessarily saying that they are all odious snakes. Although many are, sure, but I don't think all of them are immediately odious snakes. I think that they are all trying to make the country better in their own way. But there are political realities that oftentimes get in the way of the promises that they make. And then there are general things that they will talk about that they do believe, and they probably know in their heart of hearts they're not going to really be able to change. What bothers me is that I feel that there is an encroaching scourge in our American political landscape. It is insidious, and I think that it threatens to derail our very democracy more so than anything else that we have seen. And it is the trust out of hand of a politician's word. I believe it is a politician's job to get elected. I believe if they do anything other than get elected, it is a bonus. I believe that them following up on their promises don't necessarily affect whether or not they get elected again, and so therefore they deprioritize that in favor of getting elected again. I believe that almost everything that comes out of a politician's mouth is newspeak, be it off the cuff, old-fashioned country bumpkin. Well, I'm just going to say it to you plain. You can't get to the level of national politics unless you either have an instinct naturally to be able to position yourself in good places, or you are polished enough to understand how to say things in ways that will not necessarily be a lie when it goes the other way, but will be convincing enough to get people in the booth to press your button the next time there is a specific day where your future depends on such an action. And let me say this again, because this is where I get in trouble, because everybody who wants to fucking stand for a politician or a party, they get all upset when it's like, oh, how dare you impugn my favorite. Meh. I think it's okay to admire politicians. They're under a lot of scrutiny. They got to deal with a lot of shit. They put their families through a lot of shit. A lot of times people are unfair to them, as the role of a politician is oftentimes not only to advance your own agenda, but to destroy the agenda of the people across the aisle. But it is when we take things verbatim from politics that I think we damage our own roles in this tremendous system we call democracy. When we take points verbatim from a politician, be it in the media or us as people, we become an extension of those topics and not arbiters of those topics. Think of it as the difference between copying and pasting somebody's homework and reading it and rewriting it in your own words. I feel like there is a difference to that. And in a world of retweets and stuff like that, there is, I'm not blaming the tech, I just think that there's something lost. Because like I said, these messages are crafted to oftentimes within an inch of the literal truth distort, destroy, and demean the opposite side, whatever that side might be. And yet, we, the arbiters, are not necessarily on one side or another. If anything, you look at where the ascendant sides of either parties are, there are tremendous overlaps. But we are pitted against each other because we trust politicians, because we are extensions, because we are not arbiters. This is the worst of one of my least favorite elements of society, of our political society. The destroy the argument culture. You've seen these videos. These videos on Facebook, on Twitter, where somebody is destroying whatever. Destroying gun control. Destroying the Second Amendment. Destroying pro-life. Destroying pro-choice. Whatever. And I'm not saying that these debate videos have no merit. Oftentimes there are really, really good points. And through vigorous dialogue, I believe we can find lasting peace. But the ones that frustrate me the most is when they are just reading talking points. The recitation of a talking point, to me, is a shallow, shitty argument. They are not trying to build peace through understanding. They are trying to win politicians their jobs. And that is what I want to illustrate. This is not about them getting elected again. Not for me. I could give a fuck. That's their job. They've got a lot of people that are working on that. They have practiced their entire lives to continue to keep their jobs. They should be able to do that by themselves. Our job is our country. Our job is how we are the arbiters for what they say, how we vet their promises, and how we push them forward based on our tremendously beautiful patchwork of ideas. But that's just me. My question to you is, do people care? Or do they just want to win? Because that's the element of this that I have left hidden until now. My argument is the vegetables. The sugar, salt, and fat. The tempting, exciting, luring part of why you would want to repeat a politician's argument is because you can live through them. Even more, you can live through them with stakes. You can live through them because it is indeed life or death right now that this politician wins. And oh, the drama, oh, the suspense. I wonder if it's going to go this way or that way. Look at how mean all the people are on the other side. Look at how wrong all the people are on the other side. I bet you they hate people. I bet you they love misery. I bet you they're in the pockets of the evils. Because if you win, it's exciting. If you lose, you can indulge in my second least favorite element of politics today, and that is something, maybe I'll talk about this next week. The addiction we have to fatalism. But I do want to know if you guys think anybody cares about this kind of stuff. Because I don't see it talked about a lot. All the money, by the way, is in all the money is in picking a side. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but the reason why these conversations don't happen on a lot of podcasts is because a lot of podcasts don't give a fuck about these kinds of conversations. They don't. They want you to pick a side. They want to be on the sugar, salt, and fat side. And I'm down with it. I love it. I love to watch it. But I know it's a TV show. I know that what they say isn't real. I know that my neighbor doesn't want to kill me, even if they are misguided and their misguided nature does do harm to part of the country. I believe that the best way to get past it is, again, through understanding and moving the country forward. But, hell, I guess that's why I have a little listen to podcast and, you know, everybody else is getting TV gigs and running gigantic theaters. Because if I were to indulge a little bit in the fatalism that I just said that I abhor so much, I would say that we do love the fight more than we love actually engaging. But I won't. I believe in the message, and I thank you for listening to it. But you want to know what? This shit has gotten way too serious. What do you say? We go ahead and head into our weekly look into the statistical analysis of the horse race. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your March 28th California Senate.
Get on the floor if you got that booty.
Dance, 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 dance. This again is a California Senate poll dance for the PPIC poll taken from March 4th to March 13th with a sample of 931 likely voters, a 4.7 margin of error. It is the open primary for the California Senate. Let's go ahead and take a look. Coming up first to the stage, he is not only young, homie, he's got that fountain of youth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage from the Democratic Party, the insurgent, Kevin Day Lee. But, it's her seat, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. She is going to shake it. Don't break it. It took her mother 9 months to make it back in 1933. Ladies and gentlemen, in her possibly last run in the Senate with a commanding 42-point lead, please welcome to the stage, Dianne Feinstein. That is Feinstein over De Leon with a 26-point spread. What do you say we go ahead and move into but your emails? You can go ahead and email the show theyoungamerican at gmail.com. Again, theyoungamerican at gmail.com. Theyoungamerican at gmail.com. Go ahead and send in anything that we talked about today. You want to talk about Caroline Sunshine? You want to talk about, I know we have got some China and North Korea experts that have emailed into the show before. Please educate me on what the fuck is going on here with this Kim Jong-un visit. Are you Paul Ryan's P90X instructor? Please email me. Does anybody care about whether or not taking politicians seriously is ruining democracy? Email me. theyoungamerican at gmail.com. Liam writes, there's little more to the Stormy Daniels story than just to the affair. Sorry, there's a little more to the Stormy Daniels story than just the affair. The media's coverage of it has been pretty shallow. But one of my favorite podcasts, Opening Arguments, dug deeper in a recent episode. That would be 154, Stormy Daniels is a Legal Genius. It's a really interesting podcast that talks about legal issues related to current events. Long story short, the things that liberals should be focusing on is not the affair, but the hush money. The $130,000 payment was illegal and is impeachable. Folks should listen to the podcast if they want more details. Your prediction that nothing will come of it is reasonable, though, since the Republicans control Congress. If your liberal listeners want to prove your prediction wrong, they should keep talking about it, but focus more on the hush money. Now, I'm interested to listen to the podcast because my reading on it made it seem like, sure, theoretically it's impeachable, but even then it would be a fairly long reach, even if you had a Democratic Congress, and you would risk making Donald Trump somebody that gained sympathy. I mean, remember, the reason why Nixon got out is because Republicans, rank and file voting Republicans, turned on Nixon. I do think that you would still need rank and file voting Republicans to turn on Trump for him to get impeached. The reason why Clinton wasn't impeached is because rank and file Democrats never turned on him. So, no matter what, impeachment is still kind of a popularity contest. It's almost as if politicians focus more on whether or not they're going to get reelected. Adam writes, I have always wondered why CIA personnel tend to omit the when they're referring to the agency. CIA denies allegations of X, or to cite the YouTube vid that reminded me of this thought, this is the first of its kind conference for CIA. I've never heard of the FBI or the TVA talk like that. Do you have any idea why CIA personnel omit the? Ninja Steve immediately correcting me. Clinton was impeached. He was not removed. So you're right. The difference between impeachment and removal. He was not removed because rank and file Democrats never turned on him. Thank you for saving me some emails on that, Ninja Steve. I don't know why. If I get any CIA listeners, holler at me. Let me know. Hey, maybe it's just, it's like a band, just a thing that happens. That some bands are White Stripes or the White Stripes or something like that. Newspapers do that. There's like the some papers omit the and some don't. But I have no idea. I would love to hear somebody answer it though. Go ahead and hit me up, theyoungamerican@gmail.com. And you're right. Nixon never was impeached. Nixon resigned before he could be impeached, but he would have if he would have. If he would have hung on. By the way, go ahead and follow @ContenderGame for the. Actually, you want to know what? Let's go ahead and find out right now who our final four are in our contender. Our contender bracket. We have 8 hours left. So if you are listening to this live, go to @ContenderGame. To go vote. The email address that you want to email is theyoungamerican@gmail.com. Theyoungamerican@gmail.com. Unlike the CIA, we put the in theyoungamerican@gmail.com. All right. Here we go. The Politics podcast can now confirm we are projecting a win. Advancing out of the affairs bracket will be Bill Clinton over Newt Gingrich. Bill Clinton getting the better of Newt one last time in his grudge match, advancing to the final four. He will face off. Oh, my God. This one is too close to call. Too close to call right now. You can go ahead and still vote for the next 8 hours. Who had in the Love Children bracket, it is a squeaker. 49% for John Edwards, 51% for Grover Cleveland for the right to match up against Bill Clinton. Oh my God. This one is a fucking squeaker. How about this? The new media bracket on the other side. It's a blowout, folks. We can confirm that the new media bracket will belong to Anthony Weiner over Elliot Spitzer, 82% as of now with 8 hours left to vote. And the gay bracket will be owned, unless there's a major swing in the last 8 hours, by Larry Craig, Mr. Wide Stance, right now leading Jim McGreevy 55% to 54%. So it would be Larry Craig versus Anthony Weiner in the Final Four, and Bill Clinton versus either John Edwards or Grover Cleveland. There are only a few votes separating those two. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this link right here into our chat for anybody who has not voted. Go ahead and do it. You should go ahead and get your vote in at Contender Game. Again, at Contender Game. Oh, that Final Four is going to be lit. Music has been provided by Valesco and the Trop Killers. You can follow me at Justin R. Young everywhere. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. Again, patreon.com/JURY is where you can support the show and get bonus content. Meanwhile, you can support us if you have Amazon Prime by going on over to twitch.tv/Justin R. Young and subscribing with Amazon Prime. Free money for you going into my pocket. Pretty sweet. And download archived episodes of this show at bonerwars.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for today. Remember, some shows talk about politics. Others talk about politics. And man, I'm starting to think some people are really starting to talk about politics. But this is the only show that talks about all three. I will see you guys next week.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.